and welcome to Capricorn Venus Tarot. I am Capricorn Venus, and today we are going to talk about what does it feel like to love you? Like, what does it feel like to be your friends and your best friends, your family, like people really in your inner circle? And I'm mostly going to be talking about platonic. It's possible a little romance might slip in there just because I think in romance, they're your friends too. So that person would just be like included, and might adjust the vibe or whatever. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep it mostly about platonic, familial, friendships, that sort of thing. Even like, your coworker, who's like your favorite coworker or whatever. What does it feel like to love you? And then I am actually doing a collaboration with Witch Obsession. He is one of my favorite tarot readers. Like, I literally watch every single one of his videos. And I reached out to him, and he is going to do like the more romantic kind of version of this. So I look forward to seeing his video. And yeah, you guys should definitely go check out his video that he's making, and then also just like his channel. He has a lot more backlog than me, so plenty of readings to watch. And like I said, I've seen like every single one. They're all great. So he's super cool. Recently he just had like a bunch of videos with Pokemon cards, and so that's super fun. Just like super cute. So, okay, we're gonna get into it. But today what I've done is I've got 4 piles here, and I've picked out, I got this like deck, this oracle deck for Christmas from one of my aunts. And, they heard through the grapevine that I read tarot now, and she's so sweet. Just picked up one, and it's animals. Here, let's see what it's called. It's the Spirit Animal deck. It's the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I don't know why I'm showing you, but yeah. So I picked out one card for each of the piles. And so first we've got this little selenite ball in pile number 1. Then we've got tiny amethyst cluster here in pile number 2. Big ol' rose quartz, pile number 3. And then, I'm pretty sure now that this is a blue lace agate. One of my viewers commented it, but then deleted that. But yeah, I saw the comment still, and I think that that's right. Somebody else had said amazonite, but it's actually like more of a light blue, and that picture seemed like more of like a ocean kind of vibe, or more turquoisey. So yeah, okay, that's my running theory. Please feel free to comment if you know. Okay, so go ahead and pick your pile, and I will see you when your pile comes up. Thank you. Okay. Pile number 1. Let's see what we've got. Okay, the wasp spirit. What does it feel like to love you? Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely getting that people who love you have been through thick and thin with you. Like, they've really seen these sweet honey sides to you and these more stinging sides. And I know wasps don't have honey, but that's just what is kind of coming to my mind, is like they've gone through the ringer with you. Sometimes life stings. So yeah, I'm getting like you have maybe a group of people, and then there's like a queen bee kind of situation or something. I don't know why I'm getting that, but yeah, it's like, what does it feel like to love you? It feels like you're a part of something. It feels like you're a part of like a group that can get things done, like one of those friend groups where you guys go on trips together, or you guys support each other in a really like obvious, there for you kind of way. Like maybe you have somebody who goes with you to doctor's appointments, or maybe you have somebody who, like, you had surgery and they picked you up or something like that. Like you're a part of some sort of community, but it feels like more than just one-on-one even. It feels like, oh, maybe a family. That would be easy to understand. It's like you are a part of a very tightly knit or well-organized family. And to love you is like encouraged by that spirit, and the connection is tighter because of that feeling. Okay, interesting. Let's pull some cards. So what does it feel like to love? Pile number 1. What does it feel like to love? Pile number 1. I love having this candle. I do not have enough candles. This is my boyfriend's, and he only burns it on special occasions. Okay. Yeah, and look at how he's looking over his hard work. I mean, it's like, I get it, it's a wasp. Somebody's gonna be really annoyed by that, but I'm still thinking of like honeybee kind of imagery. And it's like you guys all got together and built something amazing. Or maybe like you have a husband and kids or something like that. And what it feels like to love you is like very accomplished because like you've built something, you have something really strong, and it feels like they're remembering all the hard work that goes into it, kind of, and like looking over their winnings or their over what they've profited, you know, in a positive way. I'm seeing very positive, very loving, like very much, you know, what I imagine it's like seeing a kid grow up, you know, seeing you guys' love and relationship grow up. So it also could be a parent though. It could be someone looking over you and just being like so proud of you, and it feels so fulfilling to love you because they helped you get to where you are or something, or they're just proud of you. Like even if they didn't, like I'm just getting like this sense that they're proud of you, and it feels full of pride. Yeah, it feels full of pride, really excited, still growing. Seems like what it feels like to love you is like you're always working towards something, and like I think you involve the people that you love in those things, so then when you accomplish that, they feel accomplished too. It's like as if somebody was writing a book, and maybe so you're the friend that's writing the book, pile 1, and you're just constantly talking about the plot to your friend or your significant other or your cousin or somebody, and you talk about it with them every week, and every week you're further along in the project, and they get excited with you, and they're sad when you get writer's block, and then you finally write the book and it gets published. They're gonna feel accomplished too, you know, because they're a part of something with you. And that's like what you do. You have that effect on people where they feel a part of it. You make people feel a part of your life. So one more for this deck. What does it feel like to love? Pile number 1. What does it feel like to love? Pile number 1. Yes. Wow. Okay. So this is related to what we're talking about, but takes it to a whole nother level too, which is like you transform too. So what does it feel like to love you is like, it's very transformative, very intense, very deep. Yeah, you grew something, you grew your whole new person. Like that's why they're proud of you, is all these transformations that you've gone through, everything you've accomplished, you know, within yourself. Like you may be entirely different from the beginning of when they got to know you to now, or you might have gone through what I'm saying is you've gone through several of those kind of things where, wow, you're totally different. Oh, you accomplished something you never thought you could, or, you know, very dramatic changes. Yeah, and I just at the bottom of the deck was King of Swords too. So what does it feel like to love you? Like, you know how to think. Like, you're very thoughtful and you're very deliberate, like a bee or a wasp, but you're very deliberate and precise and clear with your goals and your life. Like, you're very apparently I'm gonna struggle with this word every video, but you're very strategic and you accomplish those things that you set out to accomplish. Like, it's not just worthless chatter. You're very precise with your words. Yeah, okay. Let's see, what else? What else? What does it feel like to love pile number one? What does it feel like to love pile number one? Yeah, I mean, you're full of creation. I think also you really inspire people. Like, you inspire people to go out and create, and you inspire people to, you know, work hard towards something. I feel like you're one of those people that gravitates towards the underdog too. Like, I don't know, maybe you're like the queen bee and you gather people around you. Let's get some clarifier here. What does it feel like to love pile number one? And could I get some clarity, a clarifier on inside looking out? Like, oh, okay. You give people a higher perspective. Like, you really make people step back and look over what they've got. You know, inside looking out, I'm also seeing like she's up in a window. So you're looking from a over top perspective, and like you're really looking from an objective place and knowing what you can control, knowing what you can't control, and using those things in an alchemy to make this things possible. So what does it feel like to love you? Is like, it's very inspiring. It's very it's pushing. Like, I feel very pushed. Like, it's very it pushes you from an internal place because it really enlivens people's passions and it enlivens people's perspective. Like, you really change people's perspective. And so what it feels like to love you is like that always shifting kind of perspective that you're giving people. Okay. I'm also seeing like stars here. So I just feel like you're a person who's always looking towards your North Star. Like, you have this point of reference and you never lose sight of it. Like, yeah, it's very inspiring to people because you really stay true to that North Star. And that allows people to really respect you, for sure. And it makes them want to work with you and want to see your perspective. I'm also getting that it's like very cozy. What it feels like to love you is like very cozy and it's like Taurus vibes again. And I've also got the devil. And it's this image with ice cream. And then she's in here, you know, with her towel and her coffee or whatever, with the candles burning, you know, and we see her at her windowsill and she's just like peacefully looking out the window. He's like looking, he has that same kind of vibe here too. It's like, you know, oh, look. It's kind of, even though with some of these cards, it would seem like you have a very hard driving personality, there's a softness to you. And you know what? I actually find this in a lot of heavy Capricorn placement people, there's actually very much a softness to them. Like, even though they're so hard driving and they're so ambitious and everything, they often embody this like little pink color. Like, I don't know why, but that color to me is very much Capricorn. And yeah, so I just feel like it also feels like very soft to love you. Like, even though it's internally pushing them to expand, you also have this soft nature to you. Like, it's not an elephant busting through, you know, and getting work done that way. You're flitting through. Like, you're kind of just kind of almost fairy-like, but more dancer kind of fairy, like ballerina vibes. You know, there's just like a soft quietness to your work. You're like, yeah, like among the flowers, and you know how to use that balance to create. Like I was kind of saying before, it's like through having that broader perspective, you know what's important. So you still take out a lot of time to have your alone time, to drink your morning coffee. You know, you could be somebody who's like, I gotta have my wine at the end of the day to just wind it down. And I need that in order to like really feel at peace. So then I can be present for the people that I love. Like, I definitely get that you're very present when you're there, and then you're very present with yourself when you're not around people too. Like, which is why you have so much energy to create and move forward. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, what does it feel like, okay, to love pile number 1? Okay, 7 of Wands. Interesting. I feel like to love pile number 1. And Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's a very passionate, present energy. Yeah. There's a magic to you. Like, there's a real magic to you. There's a real flair to you. There's something just by being there, you change the energy of a room. You know, what does it feel like to love you? It like feels like new life. It feels like fresh starts and starting over, and yeah. Okay, that's great. Pile 1. Now we're gonna put some of these away, and we're gonna pull your music videos. So let's see. These guys. Yeah, I'm also just sensing that like you remind people to live in between their goals. Like goals are very long distance and you need perspective for that. But living is very day-to-day life. And I feel like you remind the people that you love that that's the case, and being around you encourages them to take that time in between work and bedtime to be a person again. Because that's what's important, and that's what makes it all worthwhile. And what it feels like to love you is like remembering that and seeing what's worthwhile. Okay, so what does it feel like to love pile number 1? What does it feel like to love like platonically? Like from their coworkers? Like, what does it feel like? Yeah, with this and the Queen of Wands, like maybe in between then and work, you do get a little drunk with your friends. Maybe you guys are the ones going to the margarita 3 margaritas and ordering 4 of them, and you guys stay there, and you're kind of loud and you have a great time, and then everyone goes home and takes their shower and goes to work the next day. You know, it's like you have that wild side to you, and it's Normani and Cardi B, and they're just like having a blast. Like, just that's a great music video, and it's sexy too. So like, you know how to just like let go when that is needed. And yeah, you make people feel like accomplishing their goals can be fun, and it can be a lot more lighthearted, and it doesn't have to be so serious. Like, going to work, you can put on your silly little shoes and have your silly little coffee, and you're still accomplishing your goals. You know, you can romanticize things to your own benefit. You know, what does it feel like to love? Yeah, there's that natural sense to you too. Like, you're really with the Wheel of Fortune in this. It's like, you know how to follow your instincts when it comes down to it, though. You know, like, you're really about business, and you're really about your dreams and everything, but you know how to, you know, say yes to that guy at the coffee shop or something like that, or else it feels that way to the ones you love, when you encourage them to kind of take advantage of those random situations, you know, where you strike up a conversation with somebody you normally wouldn't, or you say yes to something you normally wouldn't, just because you're kind of feeling that intuition to do so. You know, you never know where it might lead you. Let's see, one more. What does it feel like to love? Pile number 1. Oh, another Cardi B one. And this is 2 friends as well. And it's like, oh, that's a great part too. With Meet Me at Our Spot, it's like you are very much, yeah, again, it's like Taurus energy. Like, maybe you guys go to the same restaurant all together. And Prima Donna girl, I'll include this one too, because it's that pale pink color again. It's like, you know how to be high maintenance for a purpose. Like, you're the one who organizes the girl group activities. Like, you're the one who has you guys always going to the same 3 margaritas. Maybe you really do go there, but or you have like a coffee you make everyone every night that they come over to your house, or like you always have the wine, you know, or something like that, where you know how to make things special. Like, if you guys are just going out, you're gonna like bring a picnic blanket and make it special. And again, it's like I'm getting that romanticize your life thing. Like, I really feel that something you bring to the people you love, or that love you, is this sense of romanticization. Like, everything with you is like an event, like a special, cool, fun thing. And like, they're brought up by you being up, if that makes sense. So like, tomorrow too is like, they're just feeding off of their energy. So what it feels like to love you is like, you're feeding off of each other's energy, and you're just growing, having more fun. And like, that's how I'm definitely sensing with your friends, you guys can really build up a lot of energy, and maybe you guys have been kicked out of a Walmart or something like that, you know. Not often, but I could see that getting there with like super close friends, or like your favorite cousin or something like that. But I think in general, you're just good at creating like a homey environment, where people feel comfortable being themselves and asking for what they want, and feeling good about themselves. And you might also be like a huge hype man too, which I think is a great skill. And people should hype up their friends more, because everybody needs it for sure. But yeah, that was great, Pile 1. Really nice to see you, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Please do like and subscribe. as well as like just comment. Tell me if I got anything right or if I was like so close. I love hearing those because that can help me like better read into situations, you know? So yeah, please comment. I'm glad you came by and I hope you have a wonderful day. Pile 2. Now, all right, here we go. Yes, okay, perfect. Couldn't remember there for a second. All right, pile number 2 with the little amethyst cluster here. So already with the amethyst, I'm getting what it feels like to love you is like being brought a lot of gifts. I feel like you bring a lot of gifts to the people that you that love you. And that doesn't have to be physical gifts, but it could be, you know, a lot of people are, you know, they bring little things, you know, every time they go to the bookstore, they end up getting a book for their friend or getting a little trinket or something like that. So maybe you're that type of friend, but then also it could just be, I'm also getting that you're very smart. You have a little wisdom. So it just feels like, what does it feel like to love you? It feels like being imparted with a lot of wisdom, you know, having somebody really smart on your team, being able to, what does it feel like to love you? It feels like, clarity. It feels like you bring a lot of clarity. Okay. Horse spirit. Very cool. Okay. Freedom is yours too. Wow. I'm getting 2 things from this actually. Is like it's very freeing to be your friend because I'm kind of sensing that you might be one of those friends that does not take like a lot of work, you know, like you're a low maintenance friend, you know, like or a low maintenance cousin, you know, in that every time that the people who love you see you, it's like you guys go right back to as close as you always were, you know, like no time has been lost. So it's not like I'm gonna miss the boat and I better reach out to this person or else I'm gonna grow distant from them, you know. That's not with you. Like people are able to feel a lot more free and a lot more secure and just trusting of you because things stay consistent. And I'm also seeing that might be because it was hard fought to begin with. You can be rather unruly or something like that, or maybe you put people through a lot of tests before they're really close to you. But so that way, you know, when they are close to you, that's a hard door to, what is it? Bell to unring, is that what they say? Yeah, and people just feel like, I do sense that you're a very powerful person, pile 2, as well. So like, it feels like to love you is to try to tame a wild thing in a way. Like they do feel that you are very powerful and they admire you. So I think the people that love you, also they just like really look up to you as somebody powerful and free. And yeah, I'm just getting a lot of strength to you, you know. And horses are very smart too. So I'm gonna have a little matcha. Okay. Let's see. What does it feel like to love pile number 2? Like from their coworkers and their friends and their family. More tonic. Okay. Wands and the Page of Swords. So it also, like, yeah, okay, so you're very smart. There might be some war of wit here happening, like the war of words. And yet so much stability too, 4 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So it's like, yeah, you're very sharp, you're very clever. Maybe you like to debate. And so what it feels like to love you is like, yeah, you kind of have to be on guard a little bit. You know what, I was sensing that with this horse, but it kind of seemed negative, but this clarifies it. It's not that they're scared of you or anything. It's more like they know they have to be on their toes with you. It's like the people who love you, and they love this about you too. It's like you push them to be smarter too, because when they're hanging out with you, they're probably gonna have to think, you know, they're probably gonna have to have a little debate, and if they're gonna bring something up, they better be able to defend it, you know, and you guys have fun that way. And that's something you bring, this like kind of unruly energy to people, you know, and like this punching kind of vibe to you. I feel very animated, and I feel very, you know, ready to go. And I think you bring that to people that you love, like, just through your energy is very feisty. Okay, let's see what else. What does it feel like to love pile number 2? What does it feel like to love pile number 2? Yeah, you have a lot of like cultivation, like you cultivate. Look at all the papers here. I don't know, like you start things, and you might start shit a little bit, like, but it adds a little pizzazz to people's lives too. Like you might be the drama a little bit, but in a way that, first of all, is very endearing, you know, and second of all is it keeps things interesting and passionate. It doesn't seem to go too negative. It's like you might start some drama, but it'll be like, it's not going to be mean. It's not going to be anything really harsh. It'll just be kind of funny, if anything. Let's see what else. Let's get some clarity on those 2 cards. So, Seven of Swords and Knight of Pentacles. What does it feel like to love pile number 1? Let's get some clarity on that. Oh, pile number 2, I mean. Strength. Yeah. Yeah, you're very strong, and you kind of power through things is another thing I'm getting. It's like, yeah, when I'm talking about you starting shit or something, or like you cultivating things, it's like you're very much force of will. And so what does it feel like to love you? It's like this, it's like being around this force, this just unstoppable force, you know, with the running and the horse, you know, like I'm just getting, you just bludgeon shit to death or something. Like, it's so interesting. Like, what does it feel like to love you? Pile number 2. What does it feel like to love you? Pile number 2. Feel like to love you. Yeah, you're really on top of your shit, and you have a lot of control. I think you might even be a little controlling. And so what does it feel like to love you? It does feel like you're taming a horse. You know, it's like the people who love you do feel like they're reining you a little bit. They can't do it very well. And so it's like this constant back and forth of reining you in, letting you run, seeing where you'll go, seeing what you'll start, and then helping you if you get into a tough spot or something. But you mostly have it on lock. It's just like they're kind of running around, seeing what you're doing next. Three of Swords. Yeah, you might get yourself into some trouble with it too. If you're always breaking down doors, eventually you might break down into somewhere that you're not supposed to be. or something, you know, or you might piss someone off that you shouldn't have pissed off, but you were just kind of not thinking ahead. Yeah. With this forceful energy, I just feel like you mostly, you're ramming your way through, you know, and you don't often care about what people perceive as the correct way to do it. So then that might end you up in some heartbreak because you just were doing it the way you do it. And it's possible that people, not the people that love you, but it seems like people outside of your circle might get caught in the crossfire and not like the kind of energy you brought. So then those people that love you are kind of defending you or corralling people and being like, come on now. They didn't mean anything by it. They're just being themselves. Like, give them a break. And they go on the defensive, and yeah, they're happy to do that because, I mean, most of the time, you're right. It's like, why are you booing him? He's right, you know, kind of thing. And that's what it feels like to love you. It's like, you're on the side of the emperor. That's a good place to be, you know? That's a powerful friend. Knight of Cups too. Are you kind of like a playboy too? Maybe you're that person who, what it feels like to love you. Like, you might go through your fair share of breakups or random new girlfriends that they have to meet or something, or boyfriends that they have to meet or whatever. Yeah, so they know you as this person who is a little bit, yeah, it's not thoughtless. It's more like a little bit reckless. Like, you're a little bit reckless. So the people who love you get to like kind of see that. And some of them live vicariously through you. I'm sensing that they just love to see what kind of mess you're gonna make. You know, because you always clean it up. I mean, you always get done what you wanted to get done eventually. But it seems like you're really fun to watch as well, you know, and you're strategic, but things still, you're reckless. It's like you're strategic, you're very smart, but then at the same time you have this recklessness, and this free, unbroken spirit kind of thing too, which gets you into the problem, and then the hardworking, strategic part of you gets you out, if that makes sense. So, okay. Get some music videos. So what does it feel like to love pile number 2? Let's see if I can like actually get something. What does it feel like to love pile number 2? That's perfect. That's perfect. That's a great music video and a great song. And it's basically talking about who is going to tell me that they've got a good thing for me? Like, I've got a good thing already with myself. So if you're going to say that you have a good thing for me, you can pretty much fuck off. Like, that's what Kalani is saying. It's really funny, and she's working her waitress job, and she does quit impulsively after being insulted. So that's funny. You never know what you might do. Have you ever quit on the spot, pile 2? Maybe your coworkers sense that about you, like they kind of worry but are anticipating the day your boss would ever try to say something to you that might push you over the edge, and then who knows what the hell is gonna happen. All hell's gonna break loose. Like, so what does it feel like to love you is like you're on the side of that girl who's quitting in like such a great way to her boss, you know? Like, that's a cool feeling. That's a cool, dramatic, like, fun life to be a part of. Like, I always like to have a friend who's a little more dramatic. When I was working like at Starbucks or you know, the laundromat or something, like, you want somebody that's gonna be full of expression and willing to maybe get in a verbal altercation, you know? Oh, that's another good one. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot about work too. So like it's possible that you have a very close group of like coworkers, or that you're just like really close with the people, like one or two people at your work, or that people just know about your work. So the people that love you like hear a lot about your work and you're really about your money. So then they know all the work drama. You know, I have some friends where I don't know any of these people that they're talking about, but I know every single one of their coworkers' names, and their whole life story, because it's like a big part of that person's life. You know, they're thinking about work a lot. So then I, as their friend or a person that loves them, know about their work. So that could be the case with you. I also just get like very much, yeah, Aries energy from you, like, which the Emperor is ruled by Aries. But also just, I'm good on my own and I'm gonna be like a great person to have around, but I might randomly flip out a little bit. So that's fun. This is one of my favorites. Like, and I also have this feeling all the time. It's like, oh, you think, it's just like kind of being angry at anyone who thinks that they could save you or like take you away from all this. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You're misinterpreting what I'm needing here. Yeah, I do not need that. And that's kind of what that song's about. But yeah, what it feels like to love you, it's like, I think people know also that you don't need them, which some insecure people could take that the wrong way. You know, some people really feel like they need, okay. Some insecure people could take that the wrong way. And when you don't need them, they could really take that personally, you know? But it's actually a good thing to not need your friends, not need your family, or not need this particular person, but instead want to be around them. And you guys are giving mutual support. And, you know, it's just a fact that things happen and people drift apart, or they could even die or something like that. And there's a certain truth to like needing to have yourself be independent, you know, because it's a skill that everyone needs to have, you know, like we need people, we need community, but we don't need one person in particular. Like, I don't want to say you don't need people, because you need people, but you don't need this one person. Like, they are replaceable, and not in an evil way, but just more of a practical way, like, you know, so maybe you know that, or that's something you say. So then it also feels like, since you're constantly, you know, moving and trying new things and starting shit and whatever, there's some people that feel like they just used to know you, you know? And that's interesting. Also, it's a very cute music video too. So you have like a very like cute and sexy vibe. You know, it's like a baby horse is cute, but then like stallion has that like wild nature or something like that. So I don't know what that is. Redneck woman. Yeah, you're just gonna say how it is. Like, you're gonna tell it how it is. You're gonna maybe burn a bridge or two. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do, because that's you. And you're just, what it feels like to love you, pile 2, is like you're watching a wild horse run, you know? It's pretty exciting. It's a pretty good time. You know, very fun. I'm gonna put these down below, but very cute. Okay. All right, thank you, pile 2. So that is all for your reading. Make sure to go check out Witch Obsessions video. I'll link it down below. But there's probably a message in there for you too. So yeah, and he's awesome. There's a ton of videos that you can watch on his channel. He has a much longer backlog than me. So I've watched a lot of them. I think all of them. I said all of them, and then I was like, did I really? I mean, pretty sure, but who knows? But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Please comment and like, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, pile 3. Hummingbird spirit. And I started that really fast. So I'm feeling you're very quick paced. So what does it feel like to love you is like very sweet, super sweet, like honeysuckle, flowers. I'm getting like a very warm feeling. I wasn't even really focused on how my body was feeling too much in pile 1 and 2. Pile 2, I did get like some feelings in my heart, but it's like, what does it feel like to love you? So, I mean, that makes sense. But with you, I'm just getting like all over warm, you know? Like you just had one glass of wine or maybe some sort of sickly sweet candy kind of drink for you, pile 3. I don't know why I'm getting that, but yeah, like you're always looking for the sweetness in life. Like what it feels like to love you is to be constantly on the hunt for a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of positives. Like you're always looking for the positives. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like you're very much a optimist, and people feel optimistic when they love you, you know? It's like that part of themselves comes out. I always feel like when you make a friend who is a romantic, you deep down you're romantic. Don't lie. You know, like I actually say that to my friends a lot because I tend to attract like more about the numbers people and like very sciencey people. But it's like, if you like me, like be real, be so fucking for real right now. Like you're romantic, okay? You just have to live with that. And I think that's how it is to love you. It's like they realize the soft parts of themselves through wanting to protect you. I'm just getting this image of like just holding a little hummingbird. And like, of course, you're going to be very delicate and you're going to be so careful and you're going to speak softer. And I think that's with you too. It's like you're the hummingbird. And so when people love you, they need to be more careful. And so it brings out this softer nature to themselves. Like it makes them acknowledge that part of themselves that can whisper and can say things in a softer way and can just be more, yeah, it just brings out that delicate part of themselves. Like when you talk to a baby, you know, like you're just a little bit more unsure of yourself, but in a way that's good because you're being more aware, you're being more careful. You know, a lot of people need more people that they care about and are delicate in their lives. This can be a precarious position to be in someone's life, you know, and I hope that the people that love you know that on a certain level, it's a role, this delicacy kind of thing. It's like your role is to be delicate rather than that you're really that vulnerable. Like you're not less than. So I hope that nobody is kind of taking that way. That's interesting. I just feel like maybe there's people that love you that can sometimes get the wrong idea. Like maybe it's family or something like that, where this was taken as not as a role and an important job, but as a something to fix or change or something like that. Yeah, we'll leave that there. But yeah, what does it feel like to love you? It feels good. It just feels really good. It feels warm. It feels genuine. It feels open. It feels innocent. It feels guileless. You know, it just, yeah, it feels fresh. It feels special. Okay, pile number 3. I'm liking it. Okay, what does it feel like to love pile number 3? What does it feel like to love pile number 3? Three of Wands, and Knight of Swords. So yeah, you're very on the mood. What? You're very on the move. Knight of Pentacles was on the bottom of the deck. So like you're always starting something new. I'm definitely getting that. I got that with Pile 2 as well, but this is more like hobbies. Like maybe you just start to knit randomly, or like you get into, you know, young adult fantasy novels or something like that, or like you have all these sweet little hobbies that, and I'm not trying to be patronizing, like in a cute way, like you have all these like cute hobbies that you bring to people, and it exposes them to like this lighter side of life is kind of what I'm getting. It's like what it feels like to love you is like you expose people to like just knitting or doing things that are not all about profit and not all about, it's more about experience. Like the hobbies that you have and the things you start and the things you pursue is like more about how it feels in the moment and how soothing it is to you, and like the thought process behind it is pretty, you know, like Sofia Coppola films kind of thing, like very pretty and soft, and yeah, okay, let's see what else. Let's pull some music videos for you. So pile number 3, I love music videos, and this is a deck I made, and you should watch them. I'm gonna link them below, but let's see. What does it feel like to love pile number 3? What does it feel like to love pile number 3? What does it feel like to love? Okay, I think I actually need to re-pull. I'm just not vibing. Okay, let me think here. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to love pile number 3? What does it feel like to love pile number 3? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of. What does it feel like for friends and family? I really was trying to get like mostly platonic kind of stuff. But pile number 3, I think you're like, your energy, it definitely triggers some people, and it makes people, yeah, there's just like this sense of being kind of obsessed with you and feeling things that they didn't want to feel. Okay, let me phrase it like that, because I really did go into this reading with platonic on my mind, you know, friends, family, coworkers, like your favorite coworker or something like that. So yeah, it could be that someone has a crush on you, or like people who love you tend to fall in love with you. That could definitely be something that's going on in your life. But then I'm going to interpret it also from a platonic way, which is just that I think you trigger people that you love, that love you, you know, because they're not used to feeling what they're feeling with you. Like that, I think that sense of protection and that sense of you're so valuable, I think they could take it the wrong way when you don't need them, you know, and it could hurt their feelings, you know, like you're so beautiful and delicate that I think sometimes you surprise people. But then also just by being this kind of delicate, soft presence, you're also invoking a lot of feelings within people. So I think what it feels like to love you is like to awaken to things you didn't know about yourself. So I think the people that love you are often just triggered into learning something about themselves through outside of their control. It feels like very involuntary feelings that they experience through loving you, you know? They can realize that, I don't know, you make people realize things just through what you make them do. I think that first analogy was just like perfect for how it feels, because they're being so soft with you. It's like something awakens within them when they've had to be like that. And that vulnerability, that's what it is. You really awaken vulnerability in people. Like, you make people feel vulnerable. The people who love you feel really vulnerable because of you, or in your presence, or like because of how much they love you. They feel very vulnerable to you. And I'm getting like Cancer energy from you for sure. Yeah, and all three of these are sexy too. So there's just something like, even if they're not sexually attracted to you, there's something sensual about your energy, you know, to where it's like very feeling based. And that's what I said with the knitting and everything too. It's like, you would take a bath. This one isn't a bath. So like you would be the one that's always taking a bath or something like that. And you're just sweet and innocent. And in this one, like the love interest or long distance friend or whatever sent a text of a picture of them, totally innocent, you know? So it's like you are sending things out totally innocently. And then sometimes they're received in a surprising way. So I think a lot of times you might be misunderstood, even by people that love you. And, you know, that's too bad, but I think it's just because of how powerfully you make people feel. People feel very, very, very powerful feelings around you, you know, and even when they're not around you, I'm sensing also from like social media too. So yeah, let's see. Okay, what does it feel like to love? Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Patience and learning. Yeah, and this is Sagittarius too, so it's like, yeah, you're always learning some new little thing, and you have like a lightness on your feet, like this picture. Yeah, you really just, what does it feel like to love you? It feels soft and soothing and slow going and breath of fresh air on a cold spring day. Yeah, you really teach people patience. I mean, both these cards basically are kind of patience cards to me in my mind. So you really make people be patient. And the people who love you, what does it feel like to love you? It's like, it's to give up control in a certain way. Like, that's really what I'm seeing is, what does it feel like to love you? It's giving up control. It feels like giving up control. It feels like trusting the universe. It feels like, yeah, rebirth. Those are really 3 very intense cards too. You really just awaken people just through your soft energy. I mean, you really require, I think you're kind of high maintenance in a way, just because you require this delicacy. Like, I was just listening to this other tarot reader, and she was talking about how somebody was like a bubble, you know, and you want to hold a bubble in your hands, but you're gonna pop it, you know, so you have to be really careful. Yeah, teaching people patience. Maybe you garden as well. Yeah, there's just this rebirth of the people that you're that love you. through loving you, they go through a rebirth because it shows them something about themselves that they didn't know. Kind of like what I was saying with, I tend to attract like mathematical types, but it's like, if you like me, you're probably a romantic. There's something about you that if it's like, if they love you, that means something about them. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's like you just, you draw people towards you and people want to love you, and then you have this way about you that requires something from them, and it requires this rebirth from them, and they go through like a mental reawakening. Like, it's not just automatic and they don't think about it. Like, people notice this about loving you. It's like they notice the changes that you kind of have caused in them. And sometimes they don't like it as much, you know, but it's like, you know, it's not your fault because it's really just awakening something in them. It's something in them that is needing to be addressed, not anything to do with you, really. So what else? What does it feel like to love pile number 3 for their like coworkers, their favorite friend at work, their family that they're close to? You know, what does it feel like to love pile number 3 from, you know, friends and that sort of thing? These are great to have together because it's like you make people go through those tower moments, like I was saying, like you go through these rebirth, but then there's victory, you know? So what does it feel like to love you is like big moments and victories. So it's possible that the people that you love as well, you guys have gone through like fights and then getting better and then you know, making up, or that you've seen people go through really hard moments in their lives and get even better afterward. Or you might help people go through breakups or something like that. And then see them to victory. And when they love you, they see the way towards victory. So I think also there's something about you that takes like stagnant people and breaks them. You take stagnant people and you push them to their breaking point, and then in the end they have their rebirth, they have their success, and it was like, oh, that was all meant to be, and I only had to be patient in the end, you know? You know what? That is all I'm getting for you, pile 3. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really glad to see you. Please comment down below what you thought. Does this resonate for you? Did you have to pick another pile? But yeah, definitely if this didn't resonate, try picking another pile, because it took me a long time of watching tarot videos to get good at picking the right pile. Like, you have to really be in tune with your intuition too. But yeah, so just let me know if it did resonate, and please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading, okay? Thank you. And I'll link these guys below. All right, pile 4, blue lace agate, I'm pretty sure. Oh, let's get rid of the hummingbird, but maybe this is just a little reminder to be here now. Okay, we got hawk spirit. Let spirit be your guide. I feel like that might be a side message for you as well. It's like maybe you're going through something right now where you need to kind of let go of control a little and follow your intuition more. But yeah, okay. So what does it feel like to love you, pile number 4? first thing I'm getting is, what does it feel like to love you is, I feel like there's a lot of different sides to you, actually. I'm getting that there's like a lot of different things you'd bring to different people. So there might be like two halves to you, because I have this image of a hawk in my mind, and one of the images, I have like 3 images of a hawk in my mind. One of the images is you just soaring and just gliding, and it just looks effortless. And so under that one, it would be like, what does it feel like to love you? It feels like watching magic happen, you know? And then another one I'm getting, I don't know if you've seen those videos of a hawk like taking care of a little baby, and it's like brushing its feathers, and there's something in the hawk's eye that is like motherly looking. It's crazy, but it just looks like it's being softer in some way, or it just looks in the eyes like, I don't know, like it cares. So that's another thing. It can just be like, what does it feel like to love you? It's like the feeling of being doted on. So there might be some people in your life that you really dote on who love you. And you're really like, maybe possibly a little bit overprotective. Confirmation sneeze, question mark. And I'm just getting that, I'm just keep picturing it, where the hawk is cleaning the little baby's feathers. So then the feathers are all standing up. And so maybe you really like dote, and, you know, maybe you have kids or something, and you're the mom that says, oh, you got a little smudge on your face, and like comes up and, you know, is roughly cleaning a child's cheek, and, you know, brushes their hair in a different way than they would have or something, but they love you. I mean, this is about what does it feel like to love you. It just feels like you're really overly taken care of, like, but in a sweet way. It's like, that's very endearing, because it just means you really care, you know. Maybe it's a little bit much, but it just is proof that you really care, and you're just like so frenzied because you love them, you know. Oh, that's cute. And then the other image was just that hawk coming in and grabbing the mouse and flying off. So you could also be like a provider. A little bit scary energy from you. Mama bear kind of energy from you. Interesting. I'm getting a lot of stuff. Like, that's why I keep going quiet. I keep getting the images with you, pile 4. But let me get some actual tarot cards out here. What does it feel like to love pile number 4? What does it feel like to love pile number 4? Yeah, 10 of Pentacles, which is that like family card. So maybe you're really close with your family. You definitely could be. Or you have a family of your own. I feel like people, what does it feel like to love you? I think people are constantly trying to get you out of that. Like in the movies when the mom is always taking care of getting all the kids to soccer practice, and so the kids all gang up to plan her a spa day or something. So what it feels like to love you is like trying to get you what you deserve, you know, and make sure that you're taken care of too. And maybe you're that person that works too much, and so they're always, people who love you are always trying to like pull you out of your little loop, your little routine and everything, and like take care of you for once. So that's really sweet. What it feels like to love you is like they worry over how worried you are, you know. I feel like a lot of Virgos are like this, and also I've done other signs that are like that too, but it's just like they're overthinkers. And so they feel like they're the ones taking care of everybody, but then the people in their life feel like they're always watching out for the little Virgo bird, you know? Like, I don't know. If you know, you know. Yeah, what does it feel like to love you is like, yeah, I get this like very traditional vibe from you. So maybe you have like traditions you like to do, and what it feels like to love you is like you got to remember those things, and you have to be the one to, I think because you're so in your head, people know that that you'll just kind of let them take advantage of you in a way. So it makes them not want to. It's like, I just keep thinking of parental kind of ways to describe it, but let me think of a non-parental way. Like the roommate who will clean everything, even if you planned on it. So say you're the lazy roommate. Well, you wouldn't be pile 4. Say you have a lazy roommate, and you know that they hate doing the dishes. So even though they say they're going to do the dishes at 7 p.m., you go ahead and do the dishes at 5 p.m. So they never even have to think about it. Well, to love you is to think about that. Because the person that loves you knows that you're going to try to do everything in your power to make them not have to do any work. And if they're not careful, you're going to do everything before they have the chance to help you. So what it feels like to love you is like kind of try to anticipate that. It's like I do that with my boyfriend, and actually this reminds me of him. It's like he's always working, and then I'll say, "Oh, I'm going to do this cleaning task," and he'll just do it before I have time to complete it. You know, just because he's just sweet like that, you know? And I just think you're just sweet like that, Pub 4. Like, you just want, I think there's a little selfishness to it too, because you want everything done right and you want it done now, but it's mostly coming from a good place. Like, and that's why people want to help you with it too, because they know you like the house clean. They know you like, things to be right, you know, and they know how helpful you are. So it pushes people who might normally be lazy to get out of that, break out of that, because it just, if you've seen that dynamic play out, you know what I'm talking about. Like it just does. It just makes people get up sometimes, you know, not always. If somebody's really a jerk, then they'll let you, you know, do the dishes every single time, and they'll take their little credit because they said they were going to do it, even though they knew you would end up doing it. But yeah, so okay, let me get some more stuff. All right, let me actually pull one of these. What is it like? What does it feel like to love? Pile number 4. What does it feel like to love? Pile number 4. What does it feel like to love? Pile number 4. Yeah, you might really be a homebody. Pile number 4. You might really be a homebody, and let's see, what does it feel like? Yeah, it's funny because in pile 3, with the hummingbird, I felt that people wanted to, oh, and I left the hummingbird out for you for a little bit. I felt like people wanted to protect them, and they didn't really need it. It's kind of like a false fragility, not false, but just like more of a role than a truth. But with you, it's like you are so strong outwardly, but people can sense this like boiling under the surface, both in a positive and a sad way too. So like they sense this energy you have internally, this multifaceted self and this whole internal sphere, but then they also sense your potential and how much you could accomplish and everything like that. But then they also sense this sadness inside too. So I think what it feels like to love you is to sense a lot from you, you know, like energetically you're projecting a lot of different things, you know, and the people who love you, they feel for you too, you know, they want to pull out the stops to try to make you feel comfortable and make you feel safe and make you feel the way that you try to make everybody feel, you know, they want to soothe this internal anxiety they sense from you. So with this 8 of Swords too, it's like, yeah, they want to soothe this internal anxiety. They're just feeling off of you. And they know what your priorities are. The people who love you know what your priorities are. And so they're constantly trying to think of new ways to help you and to see if that will soothe you and make you happier and make you feel like more of the capable person that you are, you know, and more comfortable to get out there and try new things and soar. Because when you do soar, oh my gosh, it's like so impressive, and it's such a sight to see. Like it's something to be a part of and to really just bask in. So the people who love you, they want to help you get there. They want to help you get to the natural part. They want to get you out of this anxiety state into where you're being more from a natural place, because that's where you seem to thrive the most, you know. Okay, let's see. What does it feel like to love pile number 4? Okay. 5 of Swords. Yeah, there's like some conflict for sure. And I also feel like maybe there's some competition here, pile number 4. So what does it feel like to love you? Like maybe there's a lot of people in your life, and some people could feel like maybe that's another reason they're jumping at the opportunity to help you, is like maybe that'll get you to notice them more than others or something like that. They want to be the favorite. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. It's like the people that what does it feel like to love you? It's like they want to be the one you dote on. They want to be the chosen one, you know, the one you choose to expend all your love onto, you know. This 4th reading has like a little bit more sexual innuendo. For some reason, I was also noticing like the title, what does it feel like to love you? And I was kind of internally laughing at that. But then explode your love onto someone. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. 9 of Cups. Yeah, you just have so much to offer. And the people that love you can see that. They are already experiencing a lot of what you have to offer, and they could tell that you're gonna only grow more and more. So I think it's like people have this sense that what does it feel like to love you? It's like being friends with someone before they got famous is kind of the vibe. Magician. Yeah. So you could also, you know, cover that. What does it feel like to love you? It's like you're also having this very like strong energy. It's definitely like very, very strong energy of creation. So yeah, I'm just getting like being friends with someone before they're famous, or people who just sense this creative energy from you and this specialness, but I don't think they've seen your full potential yet. I think they're just getting bits and pieces of your full potential. And that is really enticing to people. So maybe this is coworkers or even family members who have seen you grow a lot, or who have always thought that you were headed for big things. Maybe you've completed one of many goals, and this one goal that you had wanted to complete, like say you really wanted to graduate from college, and that was like a very outside of the box thing for people to think that you wanted to do, and then you also have like 4 other dreams, but then you complete one of those dreams, you know, and that alone is impressive. That alone is like a 10 of Pentacles moment. But they know you have all these other dreams. So now that you've shown that you completed one, it's like, it's only a matter of time, you know, wish fulfillment kind of thing in the world. Yeah. It's so sweet because I've gotten the world in like almost every single reading today. So it's just like, what does it feel like to love you? It's like you're the people that love you's world, you know, like you are just one of the most important people in quite a few people's lives. I'm sensing like you're that person that is just essential, you know, and you fulfill a lot of roles for people. Okay, let's pull some music videos. What does it feel like to love? What does it feel like from coworkers and friends and family and everything? What does it feel like to love pile number 4? What does it feel like to love pile number 4? Well, you get a lot of ones, I guess. Pile number 4, you get a lot of music videos. So, well, I did say, like, there's just a lot of different angles to you, you know? And I think there's been a lot of people in your life that have loved you. You know, I think there's been a lot of people who have loved you over your lifetime, or who will, I guess, you could also say. But they love different parts of you, and they're catching you at different parts of your journey and everything like that. And, you know, not everyone who loves you has to be someone you love. I didn't say that in any other pile, but I just feel like, you know, lots of people love you anyway. Okay. So maybe you've cut some people out, and that's why I'm saying that. Like, there's people that love you that are out of your life. Yeah. Maybe you go through these, like, intense periods with people, and then you're off, you know? But they always kind of, like, they still love you, and they still think about how far you're gonna go. So that's really nice, you know? It's like they look back on it in like a fond way, and that would be ideal. What does it feel like to love you? You might be a little bossy, because these are like cry for me, don't call me, haunting it. It's like maybe you're the more you're the one who always calls or something. And yeah, you're the one who always calls, and you're the outgoing friend or something like that. And these other people are not as strong as you, so sometimes it can be like your energy is overpowering to people, and maybe that's why you have these like very intense relationships with people, and then you move on to intense relationships with other people. And I'm not saying like romantic relationships, even. You can have those kind of friendships. You can have that with family members. You can have that with coworkers. Like maybe you're switching jobs even, you know? And you can go through situations, especially if people sense a lot of potential in you. It can be that can that can draw people in and it can piss people off too. So, you know, plenty of options for you. Pile number 4. So yeah, I would say the number one thing is like what it feels like to love you is very intense, and it gets a moment, you know, and it's a era, and it's memorable. Like what it feels like to love you is like very memorable and very much a special time in people's lives, for sure. So thank you very much, Pile 4. Nice to see you. But I hope that you have a nice day or night. And please comment whatever thoughts you have about anything. I'll comment back. But yeah, please do like the video and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time, okay?